Is your air conditioning blowing warm air even with the compressor running full blast? Did a mechanic just quote you $900 to fix it? Here is the truth. Most of the time, your air conditioning is not broken. It is just neglected. Today, I am showing you 10 secrets that will make your car's air conditioning blow twice as cold, and most of them cost you nothing. Secret number 4 alone can save you $2,000 if your compressor ever fails. Most of these take under 5 minutes, and you can do every single one this weekend. Let's get into it. Secret number 10, clean your condenser. Your condenser sits right behind your front grille, and its only job is to release the heat your AC is pulling out of the cabin. But here's what nobody tells you. Every mile you drive, bugs, leaves, and road grime slam directly into it. Over time, that junk packs into the tiny fins and blocks airflow. When air can't move through the condenser, it can't release heat. And when it can't release heat, your whole AC system loses power. This is the number one reason people pay for a refrigerant recharge that does absolutely nothing, because the real problem was never the refrigerant. Here's the fix. Pop the hood and look right behind the grille. You'll see the condenser, a thin metal grid that looks like a small radiator. Grab a garden hose, not a pressure washer, because a pressure washer will bend those fins permanently. Spray from the engine side out through the front to push all that debris out. Use a soft brush on stubborn spots, but stay gentle. Let it dry before you start the car. This takes 5 minutes and costs you nothing but a little water. Mechanics charge $80 to $150 to do this exact job. Do it every time you get an oil change, or any time you notice bugs caked on your grill after a road trip. But this next one is hiding right behind your glove box, and it's probably worse than you think. Secret number 9, replace your cabin air filter. This is the one people ignore the most, and it's costing you cold air every single day. Your cabin air filter sits behind your glove box, and its job is to catch dust, pollen, smog, and dead bugs before they hit your lungs. But here's the problem. When it clogs up, it's like trying to breathe through a pillow. Your air conditioning can be pumping out ice-cold air, but if that air can't physically push through a filter packed with debris, you're going to feel weak airflow and blame the compressor for no reason. It's not the compressor, it's this $15 part nobody thinks about. Here's how you fix it. Pop open your glove box. In most cars, you'll find the filter right behind it, held in with a clip or a couple of screws. Pull the old one out and compare it to a new one. The difference is night and day. Replace it every 12,000 to 15,000 miles, or once a year, whichever comes first. If you drive on dusty roads often, do it more. A new filter costs $15 to $25 if you buy it yourself. Dealerships charge $50 to $80 for a 5-minute job. Do this yourself, and your air conditioning will noticeably blow stronger and colder the same day. But the next secret is the most misunderstood button in your entire car, and almost everyone uses it wrong. Secret number 8. Use the recirculation button correctly. That little button with the circular arrow is the most powerful tool you have for cold air, but only if you use it at the right moment. Here's the science. With recirculation off, your air conditioning is pulling in hot outside air, say 95 degrees, and trying to cool it down. With recirculation on, it is pulling in air that is already inside your cabin, maybe 75 degrees, and cooling that instead. Cooling 75-degree air takes way less energy than cooling 95-degree air. I tested this with a temperature gun. With recirculation off, the vents were blowing 58-degree air. 2 minutes after switching recirculation on, that same vent was blowing 44 degrees. That is a 14-degree drop from pressing one button. But here's where people mess it up. If your car has been baking in the sun and the cabin is 120 degrees, Hitting recirculation immediately just recirculates that superheated air. Instead, start the car, roll all 4 windows down, and run the air conditioning on maximum for 30 seconds first. That flushes the hot air out. Then roll the windows up and hit recirculation. Now you are cooling air that has already been through 1 round of cooling, not sitting oven air. Use it on the highway or in traffic for maximum cooling, but turn it off if your windows start fogging up. But the next tip could literally cut your air conditioning's workload in half. Secret number 7. Park smart and use a sunshade. Where you park can cut your air conditioning's entire workload in half, and I have got the numbers to prove it. I parked 2 identical cars in the sun for 2 hours on a 90-degree day. One had a sunshade in the windshield, the other didn't. After 2 hours, using an infrared thermometer, the car without a shade measured 147 degrees inside. The one with the shade measured 109 degrees. That's a 38-degree difference from a $15 piece of reflective material. Think about what that means for your air conditioning. The first car needs to drop 77 degrees to reach a comfortable 70 degrees. The second car only needs to drop 39 degrees. Your compressor is working half as hard, using less fuel, and wearing out more slowly. The windshield is the biggest culprit because it is angled like a magnifying glass straight at your dashboard. A sunshade blocks most of that heat before it ever builds up. When you have a choice, always park in shade. Even partial shade helps. If you know you will be parked a while, crack your windows a 1/4 inch to let heat escape without leaving your car unsecured. This is a completely free strategy that makes your air conditioning system's job easier every single time you drive. But this next one is something most people are doing completely backwards. Secret number 6. Check your refrigerant level. Car refrigerant doesn't expire, and in a perfectly sealed system, you'd never need to top it up. But here's the catch. No system stays perfectly sealed forever. Eventually, it leaks, and when it does, your air conditioning goes from ice cold to pathetically weak. But here's what mechanics won't tell you. If the leak is minor, you can top it up yourself for a fraction of the shop price. A recharge kit costs around $40 at any auto parts store. Take it to a shop, and they'll charge you $200 to $300, then try to upsell you on a condenser repair you probably don't need. Here's how to do it yourself. Buy a kit with a gauge on it, not just a plain can, and use R134A refrigerant, the standard for most cars. Don't let anyone push you toward the newer R1234YF just because it's greener. It costs 20 times more, and the older stuff is still perfectly legal. Locate the low-pressure port under the hood, attach the hose, and follow the instructions on the can, watching the gauge to avoid overcharging, since too much refrigerant is just as bad as too little. This is one of the most overcharged services at any repair shop. Don't pay $300 for something you can do yourself for $40. But before we get to the next one, if this is saving you money already, hit that like button so we can keep exposing what mechanics don't want you to know. Secret number 5. Inspect your cooling fans. Behind your grill sits the condenser, behind that the radiator, and behind that, your cooling fans. If those fans aren't spinning, your condenser can't release heat and your air conditioning stops working, no matter how much refrigerant you have. Here's the truth. The fan blows air across the condenser to help it expel heat from the refrigerant. Without that airflow, the whole system overheats and shuts itself down to protect the compressor. Most cars run 2 fans, and if only one is dead, your air conditioning will still function for a while, but not for long, and the strain builds silently. Here's how to check them in under 5 minutes. Start the car and crank the air conditioning to full blast. Wait 5 minutes, then pop the hood and look. Both fans should be spinning. If one or both aren't moving, you've found your problem. Do not buy OEM fans from a dealer. they will charge $300 to $500 for parts you can get online for under $100. Swapping a fan yourself is a few bolts and one electrical connector, nothing close to rocket science. This is one of those checks that takes 5 minutes, but saves you from a much bigger repair bill down the road if you catch it early. But the next one is something almost every high-mileage car eventually fails at. Secret number 4. Check your serpentine belt. If you drive a high-mileage car, this single check can save you up to $2,000 in air conditioning repairs. Your serpentine belt connects the compressor to the engine, and if it starts slipping or cracking, the compressor can't spin at the right speed. That doesn't just weaken your cooling, it can cause the compressor to overheat and fail completely, and a compressor replacement runs $1,200 to $2,000 before labor. Here's what to look for. Inspect the belt for visible cracks. If it looks frayed, feels slack, or squeals when the air conditioning kicks on, it's time for a replacement. A worn belt can't grip the pulleys properly, which starves your compressor of the power it needs. Here's the part that should bother you. A new serpentine belt costs under $65. That's pocket change compared to the compressor failure it prevents. Yet most people ignore this check until it's too late, and they're stuck with the bigger bill. Replacing it yourself isn't difficult either. There are countless videos showing exactly how to do it for your specific model, and it's usually a job you can finish in under 30 minutes with basic tools. 5 minutes of inspection today could save you thousands later. But this next mistake is one almost every driver makes without realizing it's slowly killing their system. Secret number 3. Run your AC year-round, even in winter. This sounds backwards, but stick with me because it can save you a fortune. Your AC system doesn't just hold refrigerant, it holds lubricating oil that keeps every seal and O-ring inside your compressor from drying out. When you don't run the AC for months during winter, those seals dry up. When they dry up, they crack. When they crack, you get refrigerant leaks you won't discover until summer, when your AC suddenly won't blow cold, and a shop quotes you $500 to $1,000 just to find and fix the leak. All because the system sat idle for months. Here's the simple fix. Once a month during cold weather, start your car, turn the heat up if you want to stay warm, but flip the AC button on too, or just use defrost mode, which automatically runs the AC to pull moisture out of the air. Let it run for 10 minutes while you're sitting in your driveway or driving normally. That circulates the lubricant and keeps every seal from drying out. And you won't even notice it's running since the heat keeps you warm the whole time. This is one of the most common reasons older cars need expensive AC repairs the moment summer hits. Set a monthly reminder on your phone. Your wallet will thank you when the heat comes back. But this next mistake happens the second you get in a hot car. Secret number 2. Stop pointing your vents directly at your face. When you get into a hot car, the instinct is to crank the air conditioning and aim every vent straight at yourself. It feels great for about 10 seconds, but here's what nobody tells you. It's actually the worst thing you can do for overall cooling. Cold air is denser than hot air, so it naturally sinks. When you blast it straight at your face, it warms up on contact and just hangs there in front of you, while the hot air trapped higher in the cabin never moves. Your air conditioning ends up working much harder to cool a car that never actually circulates. Here's the smarter way. Point your side vents toward the windows and your center vents toward the roof. This forces cold air to rise and spread through the entire cabin before naturally sinking back down, which cools the whole car faster and more evenly instead of just your face. Your air conditioning won't have to run at max blast the entire drive, which means less strain on the compressor and better fuel economy over time. This is a completely free fix. It takes $0.10 to change your vent direction, and yet almost nobody driving right now is doing it. But the last secret is the one that can tell you exactly what's actually wrong with your air conditioning in under 2 minutes. Secret number 1. The compressor clutch test. This is the one that will save you more money than everything else on this list combined. Your AC compressor has a clutch that engages the moment you turn the AC on, and you can test whether it's working in under 2 minutes. This single test can tell you whether you need a $20 relay or a $2,000 compressor replacement. Here's how. With the car off, pop the hood and locate the compressor near the front of the engine, connected to 2 refrigerant lines. The clutch sits on the outside of the pulley. Try turning it by hand. It should spin freely. If it doesn't, your bearing may be seized, which is a bigger problem. If it spins freely, disconnect the electrical connector near the clutch. Grab a digital multimeter and set it to ohms. Touch the probes to the 2 contacts. A healthy clutch coil reads between 2 and 5 ohms. Anything outside that range means the clutch itself is dead. Here's the money-saving part. If the clutch fails this test, you can often replace just the clutch instead of the entire compressor. A clutch costs $50 to $150. A full compressor runs $800 to $1,200 plus labor. Mechanics love selling you the whole unit because it's more profitable. But if you know the clutch is the actual problem, you can push back and save yourself a fortune. How many of these did you already know? Drop a comment and tell me which one shocked you the most. If this video just saved you from an expensive air conditioning repair or made you feel like a certified car genius, smash that subscribe button because we've got way more money-saving tips like this coming your way. And if you want to keep your entire cooling system running strong for years, click the video on your screen right now. Trust me, your wallet and your air conditioning will both thank you.